New university rankings show this, as you look on your screen, a growing rift between universities that prioritize affordability and academic standards and those that maintain higher cost and politicized agendas. And these new rankings, done by Manhattan Institute City Journal, score colleges on merit, academic rigor, and free speech. The University of Florida taking the #1 spot, with all 8 Ivy League schools lagging behind and charging significantly higher tuition. Emily Sturge is with us, campus reform reporter, to talk about this story. Emily, good to see you, and thanks for joining us. So tell us about the article that you wrote and these new college rankings, as we were looking at here, that you go on to say new university rankings from the City Journal highlight a growing divide between institutions that prioritize the affordability and academic standards and those that maintain higher cost and politicized agendas. Can you go on and elaborate in this? What'd you find out?
Great to be with you. And let's look at the big picture here. When 18-year-olds are deciding a college, deciding where to spend thousands of dollars, where to spend the next 4 years of their lives, they're determining their American dream. I mean, that's the first step into their adult life. They deserve to know exactly what they're getting into. And for far too long, the traditional college rankings, like the Wall Street Journals, for example, use DEI as a metric. But what actually matters to students, of course, is academics and affordability. And that's why these new rankings are such a win for both students and parents, because they look at things like free speech, meritocracy, standardized testing scores, and also looking at factors like safety, how well schools upheld law and order against violent anti-Semitism, also looking at very cool things like political donations from faculty members to ensure a balanced faculty perspective, a balanced student body. And with all of these factors in mind, it's no shock to see that Southern schools are absolutely dominating this list.
Yeah, no surprise there. And also no surprise with Ivy League schools performing poorly, with an average ranking of 42 while charging an average tuition price of a little more than $67,000. Look at the right of your screen, by the way, folks at home watching along with this. By contrast, the University of Florida in the #1 spot has an estimated annual tuition of $6,400 for in-state students and $30,000 for out-of-state students. Either way, if you live in Florida, it saves you a big chunk of cash. But overall reaction, it costs you more in the Ivy League schools, obviously, than your number one rank there. Talk to us about that.
Well, schools in the South are dominating the list for more than just the warm climate down here. It's more about the campus culture. When we look up north, schools like Harvard, UPenn, Yale, they are very politicized climates. They are still pushing pronoun mandates, DEI graduation requirements, and pro-Hamas activism is still very much alive on these college campuses. So it's no shocker that we're seeing a trend of students choosing to go down south to less politicized campuses like the University of Florida, my alma mater. And oh, by the way, these campuses down south, they come at a price tag of under $10,000 a lot of the time. These schools provide in-state tuition, whereas those schools up north come at a price tag of around $70,000. When young people are thinking about their American dream, their future prospects of owning a home, starting a family, even buying a new car, they should set themselves up for success by choosing the lowest tuition. And Southern schools like my alma mater have found a way to pair both academics and affordability to really benefit young people.
I mean, Emily, you know, you had me going here watching your report until you made your statement that you went to this school. There's a subjective bias now, I think, in your reporting. That's number one. It was number one. It was a coincidence. It ended up that way.
These rankings are from the Manhattan Institute, but I can speak from personal experience. My American dream largely goes back to the University of Florida. I made the logical financial decision to attend that institution, and I can say I earned a full ride scholarship.
Awesome.
I worked through college, set myself up for success while also turning down those prestigious out-of-state acceptances that I...
No, congratulations, obviously, and you've seen a lot of success. That is good. I wanted to get to the rankings, including a Jewish campus climate metric, and this is important because we followed a lot of these stories. You wrote the 8 Ivy League schools received lower rankings due to their administration's failure to shut down violent anti-Semitic protests and prevent the harassment of Jewish students after the October 7th terror attacks on Israel. University presidents at Columbia, UPenn, Harvard, Cornell, all resigning in the wake of these controversies. National Report covered these stories. Just final thoughts on that one, Emily.
Final thoughts. We started from the beginning, from October 7th, reporting on the violent anti Semitism that took place on college campuses. And I personally saw at the University of Florida while I was a student there that my school didn't put up with it. My school upheld law and order, arrested these violent protesters in ways that schools like Harvard, UPenn, Yale, they just didn't do the same. And that's, of course, why Southern schools are dominating this list, because safety is one of the factors, safety, free speech, meritocracy, instead of things like DEI.
All right. Emily Sturge with that report. Emily, always a pleasure and great to see you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you. Thanks so much for having me.